and welcome. My name is Sheridan. I am a somatic practitioner and confident self-love and empowerment coach, all the really, really wonderful things. And today we are going to be talking about something that, I've received this advice. I've even given this advice, and it's probably, in my opinion, one of the worst pieces of advice that we can give each other when we're trying to do things outside of our comfort zone, like live life with hair loss or build a business or, work through fears and anxieties, go out and do something new, try a new job. All of these different things that we try that are new to us, a lot of the time, at some point, somebody says something along the lines of fake it till you make it, which, we can do better than that. There is better advice that we can give, and there are reasons why I don't really believe that that's the best advice, even though it is so common. I remember using this advice kind of the most when I was doing commercial mortgage brokering, and I didn't feel like I really fit in the job. I didn't study finance. I had only learnt on the job, and I would wake up every day and I would go and I would fake it till I made it. And even though I did have success in that job, I was really good at my job, it never felt right. And I actually ended up walking away from that job with a lower self-esteem and a lower kind of sense of self than you would have kind of expected that I would, considering I was closing like multi-million-dollar deals. So let's have a look. Reason number one why fake it till you make it is not the greatest advice is that it reinforces the idea that you are not confident. I subscribe to the belief that, deep down inside, you are confident. There are so many wonderful things inside of you. There's confidence, there's ease, there's courage, there's clarity. That's who you are deep down inside. It's just that we have other things building up, layers of coping mechanisms, of trauma responses, of disempowering beliefs about ourselves and about the world that make us feel like we are not confident. So a byproduct of this is that when you start kind of faking it till you make it, you actually end up building more self-doubt because you reinforce the idea that you, in essence, are not confident because you have to fake the confidence in order to get somewhere. Naturally, we end up kind of creating more doubt, and with more doubt, it's harder for your real, authentic confidence to come right back in. So we end up having more of a gap in between connecting with our true confidence, our grounded confidence, and the person we are today. Number two is that it kind of focuses on the more superficial parts of being confident. So yes, it is important how you stand and your posture and the way that you speak and the way that you kind of hold yourself. This is important. Yes, it is important that you feel really comfortable in your career and in your accomplishments and all of these things. But usually when somebody says kind of fake it till you make it, they're talking about faking all of these superficial things, these things that are on the surface, things that we can see kind of straight away when we meet a person. The job you have, how you present yourself. This stuff is important, but that stuff is actually a byproduct of grounded confidence. And if you don't have grounded confidence inside, people can kind of feel it because you can feel it. It's kind of like there's something off there. It's not quite right. It feels icky or weird or awkward, right? Focus on the deep parts of being confident, like the I don't have to prove myself to anyone because I am amazing and so is anyone else. We focus on the deep parts of being confident, like the, really understanding yourself, accepting all parts of yourself, feeling comfortable being vulnerable, knowing that you don't have to prove yourself, then the rest just happens and people feel it. People really feel that. We can't trick people like on an energetic level. we're all very smart creatures. We kind of know when something is up. We can't trick people into saying, hey, I'm totally confident if you're not. So focus on feeling really accepting and loving of yourself, and the rest will flow. Number 3 is that when we are subscribing to fake it till you make it, and then we have an accomplishment or receive a compliment, it's actually harder to receive that. It's harder to let it sink in. It's harder to use that to build up your own self-worth and your own innate confidence. It's harder to, like, my clients have something that we call hype file. It's harder to add that to your hype file because you're operating, so plain, you're operating saying that this is a fake version of me. This is a different version of me. So when we do these things, even though we are truly accomplishing them, there's sometimes a little doubting voice at the back of your brain that's like, oh yeah, but that isn't really you. Oh yeah, but you didn't really create that. You didn't really do that. And once again, we have more self-doubt come in. Basically, you put more barriers, once again, between the part of you that is confident and courageous and feels really clear about things, and the world and what the world sees. So instead of faking it till you make it, I have some ideas on what you can do instead. Number 1 is to get really crystal clear on what is actually stopping you from feeling confident or empowered or grounded or full of bliss and ease. I like to use meditation-based practices here, body-based practices. It gives us a really clear idea of what's going internally. But anything that you can use that's really like internal, it's going to tell you, okay, when we're looking at doing something outside of my comfort zone or something that I wish I felt more confident in, I notice inside that these blocks come up, these thoughts come up, these sensations in my body come up. Once you are clear on what is kind of holding you back between connecting with your most confident self and presenting that to the world, begin working on a subconscious level to create really deep layers of new belief or new action or new thought processes. It is during this time when we're really going back that we might find that, we process old emotions, or we reframe thoughts, or maybe we work through some pain from your past that is stuck in the body, or we zoom out and we find a new perspective on things, or we work through kind of some old limiting beliefs that we've been carrying since we were a child. I really recommend working with a professional, somebody who can support you through this process. They can really help you kind of make sense of that inner terrain, make sense of those things. They can give you tools so that the work actually sticks and so that you feel safe enough to go deep. 50% of this work is really feeling safe. So if you would like to go there, work with somebody that you feel really safe with, who can create a container for you, who can help you. A lot of the times we end up finding forgiveness or healing past memories, healing wounded parts of self that are showing up from fear, or even meeting and accepting and empowering different parts of yourself that previously you kind of pushed aside, ones that you may consider bad. The third is to really unlock your most confident self. So we have this awareness, right? And we've worked through all of these things. We've created safety and possibility. You're my baby. So the third part is to unlock your most confident self, in that it's really like you have this awareness inside, you have done this healing inside. And most of the time you'll find that you have this really powerful person inside of you, this really confident person inside of you. And so it's allowing that version of yourself to come out and feel safe being vulnerable, feel safe doing new things, and allowing that to shine and radiate through. The fourth thing that I would say, the fourth tip, is to really learn how to relate to, understand, and work with fear, doubt, and anxiety in a really nourishing and empowering way. If you want to connect with your true confident self and learn to manage the moments where you don't feel so powerful or that are new, and you have all those thoughts come in, and it's like, oh, but don't try this, but what if that's not going to work? But what are they going to say? No one's even going to care. All of those things. Then you have to connect with those fears and those doubts and those anxieties in a way that cultivates more self-trust in yourself to be able to make aligned choices, nourish those parts of you that are concerned, that don't like change, and then move forward in a really confident way. I move through all of these 4 steps with each of my clients and so much more. I have so many videos on cultivating more confidence in really grounded, holistic ways. And I'm going to link you some here. But if you're ready to take this work deep, to really take the next step and put these things into action, I encourage you to have a look at the link below and begin working with me. I have different packages, different ways, all of the updated information will be down below, and I will see you soon.